Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Riptide here, and today I'll be bringing you guys an NBA 2K16 Pro-Am gameplay. I'm pretty excited about it. I also wanted to start off by saying, how did you like that clip at the very beginning? Self alley-oop to myself. I thought it was really cool. In my last 2K video, it was the Pro-Am, or the Park highlights video. I was on my point guard, and at the time he was a 65 overall, and he was really bad. But in this video, I'm on my 89 overall power forward, so I'm definitely much better. I think I ended up dropping 20 points and 5 rebounds, but just a really good team game. And if you're unfamiliar with what Pro-Am is, it's basically you and up to 4 friends. You create a team and you go through and you make this team, and then you play other teams, and it's an online only game mode. It's really fun. As you can see, we're Maryland right here. I went in and I created all these the Maryland uniforms you're seeing, the Maryland court, everything you want you can create. The logo, you can pick a logo that they already have in the game, or you can download your own off the internet. All the arena, every single little detail, the uniform, that was insanely fun. This was insanely fun to do, create this stuff, because I'm really big on creating things, and I think it's a really good game mode, and I think you guys should try it out if you've never seen it. But so, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I think about sports games, and in particular NBA. There's a lot of controversy based on certain sports games. I personally feel like, in terms of realism versus non-realism, I guess. Some sports games are highly realistic. Some sports games are not realistic whatsoever. I feel like every single game is realistic in its own way and unrealistic in its own way. 2K is an example of that. I feel like the shooting in 2K is too high, personally. Now, I understand people would say, well, I'm sorry, but if I have a 95 three-point shot, then I should be able to make that shot every time if it's wide open. Well, do you see Steph Curry making every single wide open shot? You honestly, you don't. Like, if you go back to last year's finals, I think at one point, I think it might have been game 1 or 2. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think he shot around 2 for 9 at one point in game 2 from 3-point, and he's obviously the best 3-point shooter in the NBA and one of the best 3-point shooters in NBA history. So, what are you gonna do right there? I feel like that the shooting is a little bit. I feel like they need to tweak the shooting, whether make every shot go in or make only some shots go in. I feel like there's a big issue with the shooting. I also think that there's a issue in 2K with some of the animations and the dunks and things that you would do. In my last video, if you guys saw that, if you didn't see it, 2K video, I highly recommend you guys go check that out. I'll be sure to put an annotation with a link to that video on the screen. But in my last video, you saw my friend Lukester. He was going in on a breakaway slam dunk, and he had the strangest animation. Instead of, taking a few steps and dunking it, his player, for whatever reason, decided to take 2 really long steps, and then he just got hit from behind, and it was the biggest joke I've ever seen. And luckily we got the offensive rebound, and then we scored 2 points after that. But I feel like the animations in 2K are really bad, and they're not realistic whatsoever. Again, right there, as you guys just saw, the ball went through the defender and it didn't get knocked away. Other times that happens. Most of the time it morphs through people and nothing happens. I feel like 2K needs to fix the out-of-bounds invisible wall. I don't think there should be an invisible wall. I think that if you're going to have an invisible wall, no one can run out of it, or there's no invisible wall whatsoever. The ball can go out, but I don't think you should be able to run out of bounds. I think that's what needs to happen in 2K, because it's just not, you don't see players run out of bounds. I mean, you just like, you don't run out of bounds, and you don't, if you're running full speed, you don't just suddenly stop. I think that's so dumb. But I just think that that's one major thing that 2K needs to fix. And then, of course, all the posterizer and block cheese about how people are making these stupid shots. And, I mean, you're going to see that with pretty much every video game, about how people are just getting extremely lucky shots and all this just cheese, pretty much. So that's pretty much it with 2K. We're going to move on to Madden now. Man. Madden. Personally, I love Madden. I think Madden was a great refresher to the Madden series, and I think it's a beautiful game. I think aesthetically it is a beautiful game, and it plays very well. I think I'm a big runner, and I try to run the ball as much as I pass the ball, which is I feel like it's very difficult to do. But I love running the ball, and I think that what they did with running in this game, I think they did a very good job with it. I mean, it's clean. Basically, it's not to the point where you're not going to get runs up the middle, which it was in previous Maddens. It was hard to get runs between the tackles. At least I felt that it was. And I think that they did a good job with making the run blocking a little bit better and the block shedding a little bit worse for on running plays, and I thought that was good. And then, obviously, the elephant in the room, the biggest cheese everyone knows, the aggressive catch cheese. Whenever the game first came out, and whenever the trailer first came out, and it was the first Be the Playmaker trailer, everyone was freaking out because they thought you could do this Odell Beckham catch. I heard from numerous different people and all this other stuff that, oh, don't worry, it's not going to be in the game. I mean, it's not ever going to happen at all. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it at all. Yeah, I just don't believe that whatsoever. I can't believe I actually listened to that, and I told people that. They said, I'm not getting Madden because of that. That's so stupid. And I said, don't worry, it's not going to be in the real game. It's just they did that because it was Odell and he's on the cover, and they just wanted that to happen. Just so they could get views, and because they recreated the catch from real life in the game. Yeah, well, pretty sure my very first game, I did that same exact catch. Very first game, 12-15, the night the game came out, very first game I played up against my friend, and I did that same exact catch. I think that they did a good job you being able to defend that aggressive cheese by pressing A. The only issue, I feel like, is the fact that it's as overpowered as it was. People always complain about how Madden was a reskin every year, and people will always complain about how every single sports game is just a reskin with new uniforms, if anyone changed their uniforms, new rosters, etc. And I personally never ever believe that. I think that the only game that I feel might be a reskin would be MLB, because there's not too much you can really change in MLB except come out with some sort of new game mode or something. But I just feel like that there's not much you can really change in the game of baseball. I feel like that. I mean, what are you gonna do? Have a more accurate throw whenever you're throwing to first base, or a harder throw, and it'll get there quicker? I mean, I feel like that's the only thing you could probably do. But I just don't think that there's much you can really change to MLB. I feel like that might be the only game that's like a reskin every year, besides put in like a real my career mode with some sort of storyline. But anyway, I'm kind of really off topic. So at halftime, you see 73% from the field. I'm dropping 18 points, 2 rebounds. I think I get 2 more points in the second half. I wasn't really complaining because I was kind of being a ball hog in the first half. But, man, we were annihilating them. 28 points in the paint. And this was just a slaughter fest of a game. But so, anyway, so back to the original Madden topic. I think that Madden, um, I think that Madden did a good job. You know, Madden was kind of dying, to be honest, and I think everyone kind of knew it at least. I felt that Madden was dying. I mean, I didn't buy Madden. What was it? I bought Madden 13. I didn't buy 14, and my friend gave me 15. I probably wouldn't have bought 15 because 25 and 15 were 13 and 25 were virtually the exact same game. You can't argue that it wasn't. 25 and 13 were the exact same game. 15, they introduced the new tackling system along with player lock on Xbox One and PS4. So that was a little bit different, but I feel like they needed to do something drastic to kind of regain the crowd, and that's exactly what Call of Duty had to do. They needed to do something drastic to regain their crowd, and that's why they put in the exosuits in Advanced Warfare. But, I think that Madden had to do something drastic, and I personally think that they did a good job of it. You might talk to other people and they say it's not good, but I feel like the aggressive catch cheese can be stopped, and it will be stopped on occasionally they're gonna get that catch. Most of the time though, if you play the ball correctly, it'll be stopped. One thing though I found out, and I've recently found this out, that they did not do a good job at all is just straight speed. You honestly you can't beat speed. I was playing my friend in Madden. I was the Rams, and I think he was the Vikings. I think this, or he might have been the Chiefs. Yeah, I was the Rams and he was the Chiefs. The whole entire game I just threw lobs to Tavon Austin. Whenever there was man coverage, I'd audible and I'd just throw a go route to Tavon Austin, and I'd win because there's just nothing you can do to beat speed. Um, and I think that's I feel like that's kind of cheap because you can do something against the aggressive catch cheese, but speed, I mean, you just got to play prevent defense and hope that you have good corners and stuff. But I mean, I understand that that's how it is in real life. But I mean, when you have players like Rashad Perriman with 96, Tavon Austin with not mid 90s, I'm not sure of his exact rating, but there's just nothing you can really do. Um, so the next sports game that I think is just total, total, total cheeks is FIFA. And I think that FIFA is a good game, but I feel like it's not realistic. I think that this year's FIFA 16, was definitely the best FIFA in the last few years. But I feel like that they did so much to it that it kind of ruined it. I feel like FIFA was a good game, but it's just like, okay, so the defending in the newest FIFA is different. The defenders are faster, and you just can't run by somebody anymore. You actually have to beat them with skill moves, and I think that I appreciate that. I think that you should be able to have to skill by somebody, and I think that that's pretty realistic. But something I don't think is realistic as whatsoever is I don't see goals scored off headers ever, really. I mean, every single time that there's a ball coming in on a header, the goalkeeper always comes out of it. So that's not. You see, at least I see a solid amount of heading soccer goals. Now, I'm not a big soccer fan, but I mean, I watch Sports Center fairly often. I see a lot of heading goals, and I think that I feel like the fact that you have to do an early cross to get a header goal, I don't agree with that really, and I just don't agree with just FIFA being FIFA and fouls and not fouls. And you're going to find that stuff in every single sports game. Every single sports game is going to be realistic, but it's going to be so unrealistic when it comes to officiating. I feel like Madden's the only game really that it's not total cheats in terms of the officiating. Ironically, because the officiating in real life is terrible. But in 2K, don't even get me started. There's probably what 6 fouls that shouldn't have been called and 6 fouls that should have been called in this game that you're watching right now. It is total, total, total cheeks. It is unbelievable, and I don't agree with it at all, really. But I mean, it's it's part of the game, and you just kind of have to deal with it. FIFA, it's the same sort of deal. I've had times where I was uh, playing pro clubs with my friends, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, um, some guy comes up from behind me, slide tackles me. I do a whole entire front flip, and there was no call. I've had times where I just went and I was defending somebody. I didn't press anything. I just went directly for the ball, and I got a red card when I hit the ball completely first. And I feel like there needs to be something different with sports games. So now that I'm kind of off the whole sports games rant and everything, as you can see, it's 61-35 in the fourth quarter's beginning. They end up quitting out. Like I said, I think that they quit out with like a minute 30, whatever. As you guys can see, I kind of tried to skip around the foul shooting because foul shooting is a relatively long portion of any sports game, and it was, and it, I tried to make the video as short as possible because this is a 19-minute, 13-second video, and I think at a recording, I think I took 7 minutes off of it just because of foul shooting and just spots where nothing was happening. So pretty much you could tell whether he made one shot or two shots throughout the whole entire game. But this was a really good team game. I mean, I understand that. I think my guy I was playing against was a 55 overall, and their whole entire team sucked. But, no one was really selfish. Like I said, I was kind of being selfish in the first half. But, all my points, they were just wide open buckets or they were putbacks. I mean, right there. I mean, originally I was trying to go up with the ball, but I saw that that wasn't going to be a good shot, so I passed it out to wide open teammate. In this video, I'm not sure if I said this, but I'm playing with my boys, Snarky, Kid Clutch, Baltimoreans, and Lukester, and we just annihilated this team. Honestly, it was fun, but I'd kind of rather have a closer game than a blowout because, closer games are always so much more fun because you don't know what's going to happen. It's so exciting, it's nerve-wracking, and I think that's why I play sports games. I play sports games because I want to have that sort of close game, and I feel like that other people would do that. I feel like other people do the same exact thing, so they can have this, close game with this other person. This evenly matched player, and it's actually going to come down to your wits, as I accidentally click on that guy's gamer tag right there. It'll actually come down to your wits and your skill over all the cheese, and, whenever I'm in a game and it's a really, really good game and we're perfectly evenly matched players, that's whenever I'm just like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I could care less about all this cheese. I'm just going to beat this kid. And the video's winding down and right around now, and we get a shot clock violation right here, and then the other kid ends up quitting. Like I said, these kids were not that good, but I don't want to have this sort of blowout. I'd much rather have a really close game. And that's just what I personally feel. If you guys feel the same way, then be sure to like this. And I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and watching this video. If you liked it, press the like button. If you liked it so much, press that subscribe button. If you stayed for the whole entire video, comment water bottle. Water bottle is what you're going to comment if you stayed for the whole entire video. This has been your boy Riptide. I'll see you guys later.